The sun, a pixelated orb in the square sky, beat down relentlessly, yet the skeletal figures shambled unhindered. This wasn't the Minecraft of old, the one where daylight offered a brief respite. This was a landscape twisted by a new, insidious mod, one that had injected the bone-chilling mechanics of balatro into the familiar blocky world. Ilara, her pickaxe glinting with an unnatural enchantment, paused mid-swing. Sweat beaded on her brow, not from exertion, but from the sheer terror of the transformed world. Her base, a hastily constructed wooden fortress, felt more like a flimsy shack against the encroaching darkness of the night, and now, even the day held no solace. The zombies, their bones bleached white, and their eyes glowing with an eerie, persistent luminescence, cared nothing for the sun. Her inventory was a chaotic mix, stacks of oak logs, a half-eaten steak, and a growing collection of peculiar cards. The balatro mod had integrated itself seamlessly, turning survival into a high-stakes game of poker. The points system, usually reserved for resource gathering and progression, was now fueled by successful hands, played within a dedicated balatro interface that materialized on her HUD. Her current goal was simple, yet maddeningly complex: reach a score quota of 500 chips in the next round. Her current hand, a meager pair of sevens, wouldn't even dent it. She needed something powerful, something with multipliers that could snowball into a respectable score. Ilara sighed, the sound lost in the distant clatter of a zombie's bones. This mod was a curse and a blessing. The increased mob difficulty was a constant threat, forcing her to innovate. Her farm, a meticulously crafted raised platform of dirt and wheat several blocks above the ground, was her lifeline, a testament to her desperate need for sustenance that didn't involve risky surface scavenging. But the balatro integration? That was something else. She tapped the balatro icon on her HUD. A stylized deck of cards appeared, accompanied by a small, glowing purse displaying her current earnings: 47 gold. The game was unforgiving. Fail a hand, and you lost your money. Succeed, and the points could be used to buy crucial modifiers, new jokers, or rare celestial cards. Her current deck was a mess, a haphazard collection of basic cards she had accumulated. She needed to refine it. She had already bought a few decent jokers: steel lung, which added a permanent multiplier to flushes, and painted mask, which boosted the score of any face card in her hand. But her deck was too reliant on specific card types. A distant groan sent a jolt of adrenaline through her. A skeleton, its bow already drawn, was silhouetted against the setting sun. Ilara scrambled back into her base, slamming the oak door shut. The barricades she had reinforced with cobble would have to hold. She opened her balatro interface again, her fingers hovering over the shop button. The points from her last successful hand, a modest full house that had netted her 300 chips, were burning a hole in her virtual pocket. She desperately needed to improve her deck. Her eyes scanned the available items. Boss Joker, score plus 3000 if you defeat a boss, it read. Tempting, but bosses were a rare and terrifying encounter in this modded world. Hologram, play the previous hand again for half its score. Interesting. Steel card, adds x 0.5 multiplier to played hands. This, she could use. Her current deck lacked consistent multipliers. She clicked buy steel card. A new card, a metallic sheen replacing the usual parchment, appeared in her inventory. Its effect was simple: when played, it added a small, consistent multiplier to her hand score. It wasn't flashy, but in the long run, it was reliable. Next, she browsed the celestial cards. These were the game changers. Aura, change all cards in your hand to the suit of hearts. Hearts were good for flushes, but she didn't have many hearts in her deck. Chisel, change a card's rank to a random rank. Risky, but potentially powerful. Her gaze landed on quartz. Its description read, change a card's material to glass. Glass cards have a very high multiplier when played, but can break if played. Glass. The ultimate gamble. A massive score boost, but the risk was significant. She considered her current deck. She had a few decent pairs and 3 of-a-kind cards. If she could get a glassed card into a strong hand, she might just hit that 500 quota. She decided. She clicked buy quartz. A shimmering, crystalline card appeared. She right-clicked on it, then selected a random 7 from her deck. The card in her deck transformed, its texture shifting from dull stone to a glittering, translucent glass. A small icon appeared on it, signifying its new, fragile nature. The night was upon her. The groans and clattering of the undead grew louder, closer. Skeletons fired arrows that thudded against her reinforced walls. Zombies clawed at the door, their desperate attempts to breach adding to the cacophony. Ilara knew she couldn't stay holed up forever. Survival in this mod demanded aggression, demanded calculated risks. She needed to venture out, to gather resources, and more importantly, to draw better cards. She checked her balatro hand. A 3 of clubs, a 5 of spades, a glass 7 of diamonds, a 9 of hearts, and a king of spades. Not ideal. The glass 7 was a potential powerhouse, but without other diamonds or a way to make a strong hand around it, it was just a fragile gamble. She needed a discards. She discarded the 3 of clubs and the 5 of spades, hoping for something better. A new hand materialized, a 2 of spades, a 6 of diamonds, a glass 7 of diamonds, a 10 of hearts, and a queen of spades. Getting closer. The 2 spades and 2 diamonds offered a glimmer of hope. The knocking on her door intensified. It was only a matter of time before they broke through. She had to act. She focused on the balatro interface. Her current score was pitifully low. The quota of 500 seemed impossibly distant. She needed every chip she could get. She played her hand. The 2 of spades and 6 of diamonds formed a weak pair, worth a meager 2 chips. The 10 of hearts and queen of spades added a little boost. The glass 7 of diamonds, played on its own, was practically worthless in terms of chips, but its potential multiplier was immense. The hand played out, the scores calculated. 2 chips. Abysmal. But the points from her previous hand, the 300 from the full house, combined with the current meager winnings, were still enough to play another round. The shop was her only hope. The relentless pounding on her door was a ticking clock. She needed to change her deck, to find a strategy. She bought another steel card, slotting it into her deck. Small multipliers added up. Then, a risky purchase, a fool's gold joker. It gave her $5 for every 3 of a kind played. She didn't have many 3s, but it was a gamble. She played her next hand. A pair of 10s, a 4 of hearts, a 9 of clubs, and a king of diamonds. She discarded the 4 and the 9, hoping for something to synergize with her 10s. The new hand, a 10 of spades, a jack of hearts, a queen of diamonds, a king of clubs, and another 10 of spades. 2 pairs. A decent hand, worth a respectable 20 chips, plus bonuses from her jokers. The steel lung kicked in for the pairs it formed, and painted mask boosted the jack. She had reached 322 chips. Still not enough. The quota was 500. Suddenly, the oak door splintered inwards. A horde of zombies, their rotting flesh hanging in tatters, surged into her base. Skeletons peered through the gaping hole, their bony fingers knocking arrows. Panic flared, but Ilara's mind, honed by countless survival scenarios, clicked into overdrive. She fought back, her diamond sword a blur against the undead. She fell back towards her crafting table, a desperate plan forming. She opened the balatro interface again, ignoring the chaos unfolding around her. Her eyes darted to the deck section. She had 2 7s, 2 10s, and a king. She needed to make a decisive hand, and fast, before her world literally crumbled around her. She used her chisel's celestial card on one of the 10s, changing it to a random rank. It became a 10 of hearts. Now she had 2 10s, and 2 7s. A potential 2 pair. But she needed more. With her remaining coins from the last round, she bought a Mona Lisa joker. It stated, score plus 10 for each card of the same rank in your hand. Her 2 pair would get an extra boost. She played her hand. The 2 10s, the 2 7s, and the king. A solid 2 pair. The chips were decent, but still not enough. The zombies were closing in, their moans a chilling soundtrack to her desperate gamble. A skeleton fired an arrow, narrowly missing her head. She needed a miracle. A high-value card, something that could be amplified. Her eyes fell on the glass 7 of diamonds, still in her deck. It was her only hope for a massive score. She discarded the king, hoping for another diamond. She received a 7 of spades. Now she had 3 7s. A 3 of a kind. This was it. With trembling fingers, she equipped the glass 7 of diamonds. She then played her 3 of a kind, the 3 7s, including the fragile glass 7. The Mona Lisa joker activated, racking up bonus points for the multiple 7s. The steel lung added its multiplier. For a heart-stopping moment, the game calculated. Then, her HUD exploded with numbers. The Glass 7, when played in that strong 3 of a kind, had shattered, releasing its immense multiplier. The score was astronomical. 587 chips. The quota was met. The balatro interface pulsed with victory. Ilara exhaled, a shaky breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Around her, the world of Minecraft seemed to momentarily pause, as if the very fabric of reality was reacting to her success. The zombies faltered, the skeletons hesitated. Then, as a reward for her victory, her balatro interface presented her with a crucial choice: a soul card, which made a played card unbreakable, or a wild card, which could be any rank or suit she chose. She chose the soul card, immediately applying it to her now valuable Glass 7. It was an investment in future hands. The immediate threat of the zombies subsided, at least for the moment. The satisfaction of survival, of outsmarting both the game's challenges and the mod's twisted mechanics, washed over her. Ilara looked at her base, at her raised farm, a beacon of hope in this dangerous world. This mod was brutal, terrifying, and utterly addictive. She had survived. She had thrived. And as the pixelated moon began its ascent, casting long, ominous shadows, Ilara knew this was just the beginning of her balatro-infused Minecraft adventure. There were more quotas to meet, more cards to collect, and a whole world of danger waiting to be tamed. The game, in all its unforgiving glory, had just begun.